My first impression with the V4 is that it's very smooth, it's very comfortable, has excellent wind protection. It does feel like Ducati gave it a lot of thought. It does feel like a premium motorcycle that has been put together very well. Nothing is vibrating. It's extremely smooth. The power is linear, but it does leave you feeling a little bit cold. My 1200, as soon as you twist the throttle, the torque kicks in and it just kicks you in the butt. This thing, you really have to rev it out in order to get a lot out of it, but it has been screwed together very well. For instance, the windscreen, it doesn't vibrate like my 1200, and the mechanism works exactly the same, but this one's a little bit smoother, obviously because it's a brand new bike. The one thing that does save this bike is the quick shifter. I absolutely love the quick shifter. Up and down, it works very well. Here it is, a 2022 Multistrada V4. So how does this ride compare to my 1200? It's very similar. This one, I find it a little bit more comfortable. The wind protection is a little bit better on this one, especially from the waist up, even all the way to the top of my helmet. It's actually very calm. I get a little bit of buffeting on my 1200. As far as handling, that it does feel nimble enough. It doesn't feel as big as it looks. It does feel premium in quality, but I'm gonna tell you right now, for the price that you're paying for this, it's almost $30,000 out the door. This one's listed at 26, maybe a little over 25 because it's not the Enduro mode. The Enduro version with the spoke wheels, I think that one's a little bit more expensive. But once you add taxes and dealer fees, you're looking at close to 30 out the door. And compared to what I purchased my 1200, the 1200s right now, low mileage, the 2013, 2014 are going anywhere from $7,000 to $14,000. I bought mine for $9,000, so you're looking at almost triple the price for something like this, and I absolutely don't think it's worth it. If I had the money, I don't know, man. It's a huge jump. They have to come down on pricing just a little bit in order to make it worth it. And that's the fault of Ducati. I mean, the 1200 is so good, that to fork over, 3 times the price of what the 1200 is worth for something like this, it's just, it's not feasible. It's not worth it. I mean, they do exactly the same job. Maybe this one with a little bit more luxury, more pizzazz. Not only that, I'm not too crazy about the looks, especially when they got rid of the single-sided swing arm. I guess it's to save weight, because if they would have left the single-sided swing arm on there, it probably would have been over 600 pounds. But it just spoils the look now without that single-sided swing arm. It's what defines Ducati. The engine is lacking a little bit torque at the low end. It gets going, but it's very smooth, very linear, but it doesn't have that punch like the 1200. That 1200, that engine is absolutely exciting. I mean, it has 150 horsepower. I'll put the numbers up on this one. I haven't really researched, but I don't think it's that far off. And if it has more power and more torque, it really doesn't feel like it. That 1200 feels a lot faster than this one because of the low end torque. This one is lacking a little bit, and that's my honest opinion. I do like the quick shifter, but you can add a quick shifter, on any bike. I can add it on mine. I can add that Toonboy quick shifter they're offering. And I had a couple of jitters in between first and second, and there was a big jitter in between, I believe it was second and third. I guess I didn't force it into gear hard enough, so we kind of went into neutral, revved, and then it went into gear, which was a little bit alarming because the front wheel came up. So this is what happened with the quick shifter as I'm shifting up from first to second and third. Currently in first, wanted to shift up to second, then third, and went into second again. So let's take a closer look at the tachometer. I'm currently in first. Now look what happens when I go up to second. and now third, and then went into second again. But other than that, it's very smooth and it works well. I'm not gonna get into the electronics or what's in the screen on the tachometer. You can watch other videos, and I'm sure there's plenty of other videos talking about that. The brakes are the same, they work very well. The rear brake is not as mushy as the 1200. The 1200 suffers from that, where it's too close to the catalytic converter and the rear brake gets mushy. Now I haven't ridden this long enough to where it's not getting hot enough to where I noticed that. But if there's any owners of this, please comment below if you've ridden more than 200 miles in a day and the rear brake gets mushy, because that's a problem that the 1200 has. Let's talk about the looks. Not too, I mean, it retains the Multistrada look, but compared to the 1200, this one has the adaptive cruise control, which has that flat spot on the nose right here, and to me it just spoils the look a little bit. And are these fake? Sort of. That one isn't, but this one has something behind it. Yeah, in the 1200 they're open. I just think it looks better proportionately, the 1200. You know, the 1200 looks more dramatic, you know, it looks sculpted a lot better. You know, you could tell an Italian, you know, designed it. This one, I don't know, it's kind of like more of the engineer department that designed this bike, other than a true artist, an Italian artist at that. Well, that's my opinion. You know, obviously I may be wrong or I may be 100% right, but I just think that the 1200 looks better. I've seen this in red. They have one at the dealer, and I'm still not too crazy about it. It's just not worth the price. I'm sorry. It's a lovely machine. I have to ride the KTM, the 1290 Adventure, and the GS 1250. And I'm sure that once BMW comes with the GS 1300 with the widescreen, I'm sure it's going to surpass this bike. Probably not in power, but in everything else in the looks department and the comfort and all that, and in the tech. So I will hold off at the moment on purchasing this bike. All right, let's hit the road.